There is a small group of us who would like to restore the church, and there's a small group of us who have witnessed things in this building.
If there's any spirits in here with us tonight,
Are we welcome here?
I saw two people. I saw was a man and a woman.
if you want us to leave, if you don't like us here, let us know.
We have things in the office move, pens, pencils, papers, things like that.
So where's this mean spirited entity that is up here that knocked over cameras and said to get out?
Something just touched me.
So you're behind us now.
I was afraid, just repeating to myself, I don't see anything, I don't hear anything.
And to go check the room, yeah, that was not us.
We ready to go lights out?
Yeah. Our group's called Square Paranormal Investigations. John's been doing it for about 30 years.
I grew up in a house in the suburbs of Philadelphia that had something going on in it. I guess the best way to describe it's like an angry energy or entity or something. And over the years I thought about it and wondered what was it, and then I was stationed in Japan, and one of the guys I work with mentioned that stuff in his house moved and his stereo went on by itself and stuff like that. I said, hey, can I come to your house? And I went to his house with a film camera, one of those old style cassette tape recorders, a couple of candles, and a Ouija board. That was pretty much my beginning then.
Can you give us some kind of initial sign or make some kind of noise or do anything to let us know that you're here?
We started to work together a couple years ago, and he talked about it, and I said, hey, I've always wanted to go out on a paranormal investigation.
These GoPros are modified to be able to pick up the infrared light, so it's like they're seeing in the dark.
We started amassing equipment and going out to places.
Can you sing for us?
Ann, who's on our team, also wanted to do paranormal investigations. Ann's very good at doing the research of locations and finding out information that most people can't find it.
Anne brought a rosary, so we're going to try to use the rosary as what we call a trigger object, something that will get the spirit's attention.
It's just a hobby. We all have full-time jobs.
My battery just got sucked all the way down to red. Think that that's maybe a sign of a presence?
First State Military Academy, we are high school. We are a JROTC program, Marine Corps. We've been here 6 years.
You hear that? All right.
And there's just so much to this campus, so much history. Father DeRuyter, it was his concept. He wanted to create a environment for African American males who aged out of orphanages at the age of 13 where they could learn.
You knocked over a camera before. Why don't you knock that over?
Something just touched me.
Why are you going to pick on the girls and leave the guys alone? Or did we intimidate you?
She may intimidate them. She's the one trying to scare. But what kind of sensation did you feel?
It was literally like someone just like going like that.
This building we're in now, Drexel Hall, was built in the 50s. It was a dormitory.
So previous investigators had what sounded like somebody walking around the perimeter of the gym.
Touched on my arm, on my right arm.
This and the church are the only two original buildings still standing.
Why would you scare anybody out of a church? There's some reports that in the C wing of the school there is sounding of choirs actually singing with nobody there.
My first experience was in 2017. I was coming from the media center and I saw somebody walking down the hallway going to our C wing. I was convinced that was one of our staff members. I realized I was not touching the ground. I saw two people. It was a man and a woman. I was afraid, just repeating to myself, I don't see anything, I don't hear anything.
So you're behind us now.
I'm hearing footsteps.
We're going to start off doing some EVP work, which is electronic voice phenomenon, which is basically disembodied voices. We have digital voice recorders. We'll be asking questions.
Is this a happy place?
And unfortunately, we won't be able to hear the answer real time, but when we go home and download the audio, we listen to it and we're listening for responses in the background.
Generally what happens when we find something, especially when it's a voice, we won't tell each other what we heard. If we all hear the same thing, we want to make sure that independently we came to that conclusion. So don't get discouraged if you're out on investigation. Sometimes it's hit or miss. Sometimes you come up with really good evidence. Sometimes you don't come up with evidence. My advice is just follow your intuition and have fun with it.